So in this lecture, I would like to discuss about how the osmotic pressure can be determined by Berkeley and Hartley method. How we can determine the osmotic pressure by this method. So we know what is the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, it is applicable on the solution compartment where the flow of the solvent can be stopped. It is the pressure exerted onto the solution compartment where the osmosis process can be stopped. So that pressure exerted onto the solution compartment, it is called as a osmotic pressure. Now this pressure can be determined using Berkeley and Hartley method. So I would like to show to the diagram belongs to this determination of osmotic pressure. So you can see this diagram here. There are three compartments are seen in this diagram. Okay, and there is a semi-permeable membrane. So solution, then water. Okay, then there is a stopcock to fill the solution there. Then capillary tube to see the level, and we can apply the pressure here, external pressure, and this pressure gauge measures the pressure applied here, pressure meter, pressure gauge, which measures the pressure applied here, and this is a steel vessel. Okay, this is a steel vessel. So let us see. The principle of this method is that to apply the external pressure on the solution just enough to prevent osmosis. We know that in osmosis process what happens, the solvent, this solvent, it is flowing from solvent side to the solution side. So there is a flow of the solvent. Okay, either it will be goes to here. Okay, so the flow of the solvent is there, natural process. This is, that is the osmosis process, or it will be goes here in the solution compartment. So that is the osmosis process. Now we want to stop this osmosis process by applying the pressure onto the solution side. So you can see here, this is also called as a osmometer. This assembly is called as a osmometer. This is the osmometer which measures the osmotic pressure. So osmometer consists of a porous porcelain tube with copper ferrocyanide membrane deposited on its walls. It is a porous porcelain tube where the copper ferrocyanide membrane, the semi-permeable membrane, it is made up of the material copper ferrocyanide membrane. On one end of the tube is filled with pure solvent. Okay, and the capillary at the other end, you can see in the diagram. First of all, we have to take the solution here into the solution compartments. Similarly, solution here into the solution compartment. Then through this, we can fill the solvent. Okay, so through this reservoir, the solvent can be filled here, and the solvent, that is water, flows from this side to this side. Okay, it will be flowing from this solvent to solution. Okay, now the jacket is filled with a solution whose osmotic pressure is to be determined. In this jacket, we have to fill the solution here. Okay, we have to fill the solution here. Okay, so in which we want to determine the osmotic pressure of that solution. We want to determine the osmotic pressure of that solution. Mechanical pressure can be applied on the solution with the help of the piston connected with the pressure gauge. You can see here this pressure can be applied, and that pressure can be measured with the help of this pressure gauge. So the use of the pressure gauge to measure the pressure applied here. Okay. So this is the process here. Then water from the porous porcelain tube moves toward the solution in the jacket through the semi-permeable membrane. That is, water is moving here from this to this. Okay, water is moving there from this to this. Okay, it is moving there from this to this. That is a osmosis process. That process, it is the osmosis process. Okay. As a result, the level of the water in the capillary tubes tends to fall down. What happens due to this? Initially, we can see the level in the capillary tube here, level of the water here. Okay. So this level, at certain level, we have to fill the water here through this reservoir into this compartment. Okay. Now, when the water is flowing from this to this, what happens? Water is flowing from this to this, the level of the water in the capillary tube get down. It becomes decreases because this water, it is going to this solution compartment. So that is the osmosis process, it is takes place. That is the osmosis process, it is takes place here. Now external pressure is applied with the help of the piston. Later on, we have to apply the external pressure. External pressure is applied with the help of the piston to such an extent that the water level in the capillary tube does not change. Okay, you can see here. We want to stop the osmosis process here. Therefore, what we can do? We have to apply the pressure here onto the solution compartment. Okay, so the extra pressure we have to supply here, in which the water cannot move from this side to this side. It means that the level of the water in the capillary tube remains same. It cannot be changed. Otherwise, what happens? The level of the capillary tube get decreases, and this water, it is flowing from this side to this side. Therefore, to stop the flow of the osmosis, to stop the flow of the water, we have to supply the pressure here. We have to increase the pressure here. And that pressure is nothing but, what is that pressure? That pressure is nothing but the osmotic pressure. That is called as a osmotic pressure here. You can see. Okay. So the magnitude of the pressure applied can be read from the pressure gauge. We can read the pressure, what pressure we have applied on with the help of that piston. So the magnitude of the pressure applied can be read from the pressure gauge, and this is the osmotic pressure. That pressure, it is called as a osmotic pressure. So in this way, we can measure the osmotic pressure here. Okay, so it is very easy to measure the osmotic pressure here. You can see this is the porcelain like vessel where there is a semi-permeable membrane. The solution and solvent are separated by the semi-permeable membrane. This semi-permeable membrane, it is made up of copper ferrocyanide material. Okay, so through it only solvent molecules can move. The solute molecules cannot be transferred from the solution side to the solvent side. Okay, so what we have to do? First of all, we have to fill this compartment with the help of the water, with the help of this reservoir tube. Okay, and at certain level we have to notate this level also. Later on we have to fill the solution here, and it can be seen that the level of the capillary goes down. Okay, therefore that means the osmosis process has been started, but we have to stop the osmosis process here. We have to stop the osmosis process here. So what we can do, we have to apply the pressure here. That pressure can be measured. Okay, and we can stop here the flow of the water from this side to this side. So in this way we can measure here the osmotic pressure with the help of this Berkeley and Hartley methods. Okay, we can determine the osmotic pressure here. So it becomes very simple to measure the osmotic pressure here. Okay, now let us going to discuss, this is the topic which is related to the osmosis, that is reverse osmosis. Opposite of that osmosis, we know that in osmosis process there is a flow of the solvent towards the solution is takes place. In the osmosis process there is a flow of the solvent. Let us show this. Okay, there is a flow of the solvent through the solution, it is takes place. Suppose that if we have taken, then this is a semi permeable membrane, solvent is here, solution is here. Okay, this is solution and this is solvent. Suppose solvent is water, then the flow of the solvent it is takes place from this. Now if we apply the external pressure onto this solution compartment, then the osmosis process can be stopped. Now we want to discuss here the reverse osmosis, opposite to that of the osmosis. Okay, so that's why you should be aware, in the osmosis process there is a flow of the solvent, it is takes place. Let us going to discuss now the reverse osmosis. Osmosis is a naturally occurring phenomenon where it is a natural process where the flow of the solvent takes place toward the solution through the semi-permeable membrane. The pressure that must be applied to the solution to stop the flow of the solvent to solution is called as osmotic pressure, that is known to us. If sufficient pressure is applied to the solution side, osmosis can be stopped. Okay, if we apply sufficient pressure, we want to just stop the osmotic process. We want to just stop the osmosis process, then we can apply the pressure here. But if the pressure applied is greater on the solution, if the pressure applied is greater, suppose that we apply the greater pressure here than osmotic pressure. If we applied the greater pressure here than osmotic pressure, it is the pressure at which the flow of the solvent can be stopped to move from solvent side to the solution side. But if we apply the greater pressure here than osmotic pressure, then what happens? From the solution side, the solvent molecule, it is flowing to the solvent side. Actually solution, it is a mixture of solute and solvent. Solution, it is a mixture of solute and solvent. Suppose sodium chloride solution, sodium chloride and water. When sodium chloride it is dissolved in water, we will get the solution of the sodium chloride. So water is here also, means that solvent is here also. And when we apply the greater pressure here than osmotic pressure, condition is that the osmotic pressure it is greater, the pressure applied it is greater than the osmotic pressure, then the reverse osmosis will be takes place. The solvent molecules from this side will be coming from solution side to the solvent side. That is a flow of the solvent, it is takes place from solution to the solvent. That is called as a reverse osmosis. Okay, So if the pressure applied on the solution is greater than the osmotic pressure, then the solvent is flowing from solution. Solvent is flowing from solution side to the pure solvent across the semi-permeable membrane. This phenomenon is known as a reverse osmosis. Okay, so diagrammatically it is shown here. You can see reverse osmosis, this diagram. So in this compartment, pure solvent it is taken. In this compartment, solution it is taken. And this is a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, semi-permeable membrane. You can see in the osmosis process, there is a flow of the solvent. There is a flow of the solvent from solvent side to the solution side. Okay. Solvent side to the solution side. This is osmosis process. Osmosis process. Okay. Now, to stop the osmosis process, we have to apply the pressure here onto the solution side. So the flow of the solvent will be stopped. But if the pressure applied, it is greater than the osmotic pressure, then the solvent molecules from this solution side will be flowing from this to this. That is a reverse osmosis. Okay, that is a reverse osmosis. So to bring the reverse osmosis, we have to apply the greater pressure here than the osmotic pressure. That pressure will be greater than the osmotic pressure. Then the solvent molecules from the solution side are moving from the solution to the solvent side. Okay, so this is the reverse osmosis. It is also called as RO, reverse osmosis. I think all of you aware about this RO technique. This RO technique can be used, RO technique, reverse osmosis technique can be used in the purification of the water. Okay, now in many houses, there are water purifiers. Okay, that will be AquaGuard, anything, Kent, or any other company. Okay, we are using the water purifier. So the same phenomenon it is takes place there. That's why it is called as RO. Okay, whatever the contaminants which are present in the water, that contaminants can be stopped here, and only the pure water inside it that can be moving by applying the larger pressure here. So that is the reverse osmosis process. Okay, so you can see the reverse osmosis process. In this way we will discuss here the reverse osmosis process here. So what is the reverse osmosis? Reverse osmosis, it is opposite to that of the osmosis process. So in the reverse osmosis process, there is a flow of the solvent from solution side to the solvent side. And in the osmosis process, the flow of the solvent from solvent side to the solution side. So this is the difference between the osmosis and reverse osmosis process. So this is about the technique here, the reverse osmosis process.